Hello, good evening, everybody. The call is being recorded. Today is Sunday, February 21st, and welcome to Team Believe's Sunday Night Call. So, the first order of business is to recognize our super duper rock stars. Congratulations to Estanislao for enrolling his first coach. Congratulations. You are one more coach away from becoming an Emerald coach. And that is where the fun begins. So what else do we have? I think that's pretty much it for announcements. I am just going to kind of jump right into it and share with you a training that I went to toward the end of last year. Team Eagle had a training where Jeff Matthewson and Lacey Larson came, and so they covered a wide variety of topics, and this is one of the topics. I'm trying to find my thing here so I can share my screen with you. But basically, it's about the 5 things that you need to get your stuff together to kind of have a really great year. So we had this training, like I said, at the end of the year. And then in the next week or so, I'm going to show you the other half of what they covered, which is about elevating your leadership. But for today, I'm going to go over kind of just the activities that you need to engage in to step up your game and kind of stay on track for whatever your goals are for this year. So let me share my screen. Share screen, click the button. Okay, Nikki disappeared, but if you can see my screen, somebody give me a thumbs up or something, or say, hey, I see your screen. I can't see anybody's face right now. But here we go. If you guys can see this, can I get an amen?
Amen.
All right. So one last quick announcement, actually, before I start. Let us please keep in our hearts, our thoughts, and our prayers, Amanda on our team, Amanda Cornell, and also Daisy Ramos. They're both kind of going through some physical challenges and struggles right now. And so I just want you guys to be aware they're on our team, and we want to keep our most positive and amazing thoughts and prayers with them. So nothing serious, just, a couple things that they're going through. So they are going to be absolutely fine. And with our help, our thoughts, our positive energy, they're going to be even better. So just keep them in mind tonight and all throughout the rest of the forever. How about that? The rest of forever, right? Cool. So this quick meeting is going to be about the 5 things you need to get your stuff together. So making the rest of 2016 the absolute best of 2016. We got 10 months left, guys. It's just over 10 months left in the year. Like, that's crazy if you really think about it, because if you're looking at like the big picture view of all of this, thinking back to last year, there are trends in our business that we can anticipate and that we already know, are coming. So that enables us to be much better prepared to for the great moments, the upswings and the downswings, and we can anticipate how to react to each of those 2 things. So keep your goal in mind, and keep the big picture in mind when you do things, so that nothing kind of catches you off guard. And that's just kind of like a side note. But the first thing that you need to understand about getting your stuff together is that recruiting is a good thing. I know when I first became a coach, recruiting was one of those words that you never wanted to say, because it had a bad connotation to it. And I was afraid of recruiting. I didn't like saying the word. Most people have something negative attached to it, when in fact, recruiting is an amazing thing. It's a great word, and we need to get comfortable using it and doing that activity. So when you think about improving the quality of the people who you hire and the people who are going to be working with you, you need to embrace that word, embrace the word recruiting, because it's a good thing, right? So we think about sports recruiters. You know, when Michael Jordan was graduating college, he had recruiters recruiting him because he was good. He was damn good, right? And so it was his job to show his best side, right? Headhunters want the best for their companies. When big corporations like Microsoft or Apple or any corporation wants to hire an attorney or an accountant, they go after the absolute best, right? And that's what we got to do. We are all our own business owners. We are all CEOs. So when you're looking for a coach to join your team, you also want the absolute best. You want to find people who are better than you in any way that you can find. You actually, usually in the ways that you are not good at. So you want to find people who have strengths that are not your own, right? So I may not be the best, let's say, recruiter, but I can maybe find someone who is amazing at recruiting. I kind of suck at challenge groups, but Nikki is awesome at challenge groups, right? I'm good at the back office and understanding team cycle bonus, but maybe someone else isn't. So we team up with each other. We find people who are better than us in different areas so that we can complement each other as a whole and as a team, right? So your prospects are going to try and sell themselves to you. When you speak to people, they're going to say, yeah, I'm cool. I'm the best. I'm good at this. I'm good at that. But you have to interview them like hell and make sure you actually like them. You want to be able to enjoy the time you spend with the people who you're going to be working with, right? And you understand that it's okay to say no to people. You know, like I've said no to people who I don't want on my team, mostly because of negative energy. That's just something that I love to stay away from. I can't stand it. And I choose to not engage in conversations or be around people who have too much negative energy. So if someone says, I can't wait to do this, I would love to help them, and I do, but you're not joining my team because I don't need that crap on my team. I don't enjoy spending time with people who don't have positive, outgoing, amazing outlooks on life. And so I say no because I don't want that, right? And you also have to be somewhat picky in who you let join your team. Because in the beginning, for me, let me tell you guys, honestly, like my requirements were like slim to none. Like, you have a pulse? Welcome to the team, right? You have a credit card? Well, welcome aboard. Like, join. You're welcome. Like, I would accept anybody, right? And I learned my lesson. I learned my lesson because I got a lot of headaches, and I had a lot of sleepless nights because I wasn't being picky about who I let join my team. So remember, it's okay to say no and have high standards because you want that. You want to raise your level and be better so you can attract better people. The second tip is growing your pipeline by attracting amazing kinds of people, right? So start to think and start to project advancement, right? You want to act the way you want to be. So what are the activities that Star Diamond coaches are doing? Right? And if that's where you want to be, then you need to be engaging in those activities now. So what do Star Diamonds do? They read personal development. We all do that. But maybe they're focusing on leadership, right? They are actively looking for people to coach. They're actively researching things that they don't understand, right? Have you guys had your own team call? Have you done a training? Have you taught a training? Right? These are things you can practice on your own. You can record yourself, right? And say, hey, I want to teach the leadership ladder, right? I've done a video on that. You're more than welcome to watch it as many times as it takes for you to understand the material, and then just repeat what I say and then be comfortable teaching that to somebody else. These are the activities that Star Diamond coaches do. They engage in these things. So if that's what you want to be, you have to act like Star Diamond coaches. Read the books they read. Speak to the people they speak to. Engage in the activities that they engage in, because that's how you're going to become a Star Diamond coach, is by doing what Star Diamond coaches do, right? So to continue on attracting people, you want to write a letter to yourself, right? And say these things for the following, say the following things for a 1 month period, a 1 year period, 3 years, and 5 years from now. answer these questions in a letter to yourself. What are your dreams and what are your goals right now? Because you may want something right now, like in the current month, in February, I want to reach Success Club 10, right? So those are your goals right now. You know, you have dreams of maybe being a success starter and earning a free ticket to Summit. Or maybe you want to be, I had a brain fart, whatever they call being a Success Club 12 months in a row, right? If you have dreams and goals of achieving those things, write them down. You know, that's maybe a yearly goal. Where do you want to be in 3 years? What do you want in your business? And what do you want in your life, right? So these are things that you have to understand and know so that you can then identify what it is you're willing to give up to get it. Because I can tell you right now, sacrifice is required. You guys need to make sacrifices if you are to be successful, highly and wildly successful at whatever your goals are. You are going to need to make sacrifices. You can't just sit around watching, you know, Walking Dead and think that, you know, people are just going to come knocking on your door wanting to join your team. You got to make some sacrifices and say, hey, do I want instant gratification now and I can watch the show, or I can do, you know, whatever it is you guys enjoy doing, or you can focus on the activities that are going to get you to where you want to go, right? That's why you wrote down your dreams, your goals. What do you want in your business? And what do you want for your family and for your life, right? So it's important to get really clear on those things. So when you're writing this letter, think about digging really deep inside of yourself to figure out who that person really is. Like, who are you actually looking at when you look in the mirror, right? So in a year from now, who do you want to be, right? And you have to be specific and give all the details. Be really clear about who you want to be at the end of the month. Who do you want to be at the end of the year? If you want to be a 2-star diamond coach, if you want to be a 5-star diamond coach, engage in those activities. You know what they do. There's many of them on our team. So reach out to them, follow them on Facebook, you know, ask them questions. What do you do on a daily basis? How did you get to where you are today? You know, interview them, ask them questions, right? They'll be more than happy to help you. And now you have a blueprint that you can follow to take you to where you want to go. So if by the end of the year, you want to be a 5-star diamond coach, which is totally possible, right? Then you know who you want to be. You know what it takes to get there. Now you got to put in that work. You've got to put in that work, because we become what we work at, not what we wish for. You know, that applies to everything in our life, our body, our finances, our business success, our families. You know, I could wish, oh, I wish I had a 6-pack. That would be so great. But wishing for it doesn't really get it, right? You got to work for it. And that applies to everything. So how else are you going to be able to grow your pipeline? One quick thing, I don't know if you guys understand pipeline, but basically a pipeline is just a group of people who you're talking to, just in case you guys weren't aware. A pipeline is basically, I wish you could see me right now, but imagine the roll of tissue paper, right? The ones that you have in the kitchen, that long tube. People go in one end and they come out the other end. And that's kind of like a pipeline. So you speak to prospects, you have coach prospects, you have challenger prospects, you put them in on one side, and eventually they're going to come out on the other side with a yes or a no. As a coach or a challenger, one way or the other, they've got to come out of that pipeline so you can have more people going in there. You don't want to have a pipeline full of people and they're just sitting there. You want to keep them moving. So reach out to them, follow up, keep that pipeline flowing so that you're always speaking to new people and you're moving someone from the pipeline into either a yes category or a no category or a not right now. Okay, so just to be clear on that. But when you're thinking about all those things I just mentioned about that letter that you're writing to yourself and who you want to be in a year from now or 5 years from now, think about the dynamics of your team. What is the culture that you guys have, right? We're all part of the same team, but we all have our own personalities. We all have our own individual nuances. I like to work this way. You like to work that way. This is your favorite activity, and this is my favorite thing. I'm a huge let's say, Star Wars fan. I love Doctor Who. Half of you guys don't even know who Doctor Who is, right? So that's part of my team culture, right? You got to find out what you love and what's important to you and surround yourself by those people. Brand your team. Okay, guys, you're all business owners. You're all team leaders. You have every right, and I encourage you to start your own team. Use colors, use themes, find a motto, pick out a creed. I remember Unides was on our team call, Legal Legacy's call, a month or two ago, and she spoke about creating a creed, right? That statement that will remind you when things get tough, man, this is why I'm doing this, right? Even I haven't made mine yet. And it's something that should be personal and emotional, and something that when you read it or when you say it to yourself, it connects to you instantly. And you can say, okay, I was distracted, but now I'm back, because that creed is going to remind you why you're here. I hear somebody in the background. Close the door. So if you can mute yourself, that'll be fantastical. The next item. Find people who want what we have to offer, because they're out there, guys. They really are. There's millions of people in New York City alone, in the tri-state area alone. Okay, not to mention the tens and hundreds of millions of people on social media. It's like worldwide, right? And we all know Beachbody is expanding to overseas. We're in Canada, and UK is probably the next country we're going to open up into. So there's a lot of people out there who have who need what we have to offer, and it's up to us to connect to them, right? And also when it comes to portraying, who you want to be, thinking about who you want to be, and acting and doing the activities that person does. No one is going to ask you if you're a top coach or not, right? No one's going to say, why do you have a 2-star banner over your name or whatever? Like, who cares? Do it, right? Put it out into the universe. Start projecting what you want. And if you want to be a 5-star diamond coach, if you want to be an elite coach, then act like one. Do what they do. Read what they read. Speak to the people they speak to. And you'll start to see things the way they see it. Okay, there's a lot of help out there, but you have to reach out. You have to ask for it, because if not, it's going to be tough for you to get this. There's literally no way you can achieve anything beyond diamond by yourself. It's just impossible. It's not the way it's designed. Star Diamond Coaches means that you've helped one of your own personally sponsored coaches reach the diamond level. Okay, so you can't get to any level past diamond by yourself. So ask for help. Say, hey, this is my goal. Are you down with this? Do you want to work toward this with me? Yes or no? Like, it's pretty simple. I will help you do whatever you want to do. This is my goal. And if you guys have the same goals and they're aligned, then let's work together. This is fantastic, right? Now you guys have something in common that you can work towards. So just project it. What do you want? Make sure you make it known. And the other awesome thing about that is that it's going to put you in a slightly uncomfortable position. It's going to kind of put you out there, because now people know, right? So they're going to be asking you, how's it going? You wanted to be 2-star? You wanted to be 5-star? Where are you in that process, right? So it's going to help keep you accountable to what you said you wanted in the first place. The next step, number 3, is to share your story. And it doesn't have to be huge. Really just simply sharing your Shakeology and how it helped you. But it's really important to be consistent, right? I always give the example of me hosting a Bible study class, right? And me posting about it. Ain't nobody gonna show up to that thing. Nobody. They might laugh at me. I might get somebody to show up just to see what the hell I was talking about. But no one knows me for hosting Bible study. I don't know the first thing about reading the Bible or talking about the Bible, or, I just don't know it, right? I love it. I love God. I'm a God-fearing man, and I pray all the time, but I wouldn't even know where to begin when I open a Bible. I need help in that area, right? So if someone said, hey, how's that Bible study? Like, it's not going at all, because that's not what I'm known for, because I don't know anything about it. But if I post about an insanity class, Probably nobody will show up because they're scared, right? But if they do show up, they know what they're getting, right? Because I'm consistent. Me posting about teaching in class is I'm congruent with that, and people know me for that. They can put those two things together. Say, hey, Al and Insanity class, that goes together, right? So if he says, hey, come and meet me at 5 o'clock for this Insanity class, people will show up because they know what they're getting. They can count on me because I'm consistent. I'm always talking about it. I'm always posting about it. I know what I'm talking about because I'm posting about it, and they know about it. Everyone just knows, right? And they know because I'm consistent. If I posted about it once and then maybe again in a couple months from now, that doesn't work. No one would know me for that because it's not consistent. So that is going to help you a lot, guys, when you share your story. And then it doesn't have to be this huge, drawn out, long, emotional, just like, hey, warning, long post. It doesn't have to be that way. It can be really short, really simple, and just find different ways to weave your story into what you're posting. Just like, hey, I overslept today and I was running late to work, so I had to grab my Shakeology, shake it up, and take it with me on the way to work, on the train, or while I was driving, or whatever it is. Really simple, really quick, and it shows how you are still being responsible and accountable to your health, even though life gets in the way, right? So that was nothing huge, but it got the point. It drove the point home. It got the point across. And those are the little types of things that you want to constantly be showing people how this is real life, right? So just be consistent with that, and you'll be able to help people overcome the stuff that you've overcome. So I'm very sure that a lot of people are late all the time. So when you post that and say, hey, look, this is what I did, I can help people. This is what I did when I ran late. I just grabbed and go. If I know I'm going to be late often, I'll grab 2 and keep one at work. So if I am late, I don't have to worry about it. I got breakfast waiting for me when I get to my job, right? Just shake it up and have it. So sharing your story is really important. It's huge when it comes to connecting with people. Cool? Now, increasing your closing rate. When you want to increase your closing rate, you just say less and listen more, right? Share your failures, share Shakeology, share your workouts, share what makes you human. Be relatable and be authentic, right? Because no one relates to perfect. Nobody relates to, look at me, la-di-da, I'm the best thing since sliced bread. People relate to, like I just mentioned, holy crap, I overslept, my alarm didn't go off, and now I'm late. What am I going to do, right? Just be you. That happens to everybody, but we all handle it differently. We can all tell the same story a different way because of our own points of view. So just be you and be human. Don't be afraid to show your flaws, because that's what most people can relate to. And what I will say is that when you do share your failures, always end it on a positive note. So don't complain, don't boo-hoo, don't be like, oh, woe is me. What you want to do is say, hey, this happened. However, this is how I fixed it, or this is how I overcame that struggle, right? So you always want to put a twist or a spin on it that ends in a positive note. So yeah, I overslept. Yeah, maybe I had too many glasses of wine last night. Yeah, I woke up late, but today's a brand new day. I'm having the best meal of my day right now, and I'm getting started immediately on reversing everything I did last night, right? So make sure you always give a positive spin to any trouble that you might be having, especially if you're going to be posting it. And then just care enough to be bold, right? Especially when you reach out to people and you know that they need help, right? When you want to close a deal with somebody, some people are scared. They just don't know what to expect. So you have to care enough to be bold and say, are you ready to sign up right now? It really looks like you need this, right? I know you mentioned that you were afraid of getting diabetes because it runs in your family. Well, this is going to help you with that. And I want to help you, but you have to get started. I can't eat healthy for you. I can't work out for you, right? So if you're ready to get started right now, I'm ready too. Let's do this. Okay, so you have to care enough and just flat out ask people a yes or no answer when it comes to are you ready to order this challenge pack? Or are you ready to get started in this group? However it is you word it, right? And then when you do that, remember to detach yourself from the outcome, right? Meaning remove your emotions from whether or not they say yes or no, because it really doesn't matter. Your goal is to help. Your goal is to find a way for them to achieve their goals, right? They want to be healthy. They want to lose weight. They want to, for whatever reason, they want to make these changes. So whether they do or don't, you care, but you can't be attached to whether or not they say yes or no. That emotional roller coaster is just way too much of a roller coaster, and it's going to drain you. And then you're not going to be as effective in what you set out to do, which is to help people. So remove yourself from the outcome, detach yourself emotionally, and just focus on helping people the best way that you know how, right? And then the last tip is to have a list, okay? Have a list and use it daily. Like, you need to keep this thing with you everywhere you go. Seriously, it really is your emergency file, right? And this is from Saudi when she spoke to us that day. When you can't close somebody from either Instagram or from Facebook, you go back to your list. She said she has hundreds of lists, and she is unorganized, like big time. All right, guys? She's a mess, just like M.E. I'm the biggest freaking mess that you guys have probably ever met. And guess what? You know who else is a mess? Melanie Mitchell. She's the top coach. Last year, she was the #1 coach in the entire network. And when they recognized and celebrated her success at Summit, the theme was, she's just a freaking hot mess, just like the rest of us. She had laundry and a husband and kids and work and cleaning and just household and school, and she just has it all. Just like we all do. I mean, not me, not all that stuff. I got my own shit, right? But we all have something. And nobody's perfect. For the most part, most of us are unorganized. And that doesn't stop her. It doesn't stop anyone who has determination to be successful. They're going to not let any excuses get in the way. And that's what it is. Just focus, right? And then when you follow up with your people, have a system, right? I just started using Streak. Dalisa she had a presentation for us a week or two ago about how to use Streak. And there's plenty of videos on YouTube that go step by step, on how to set it up, right? And I can share the one that I watched, but there's plenty of other ones that are really good also. So the idea is just to get started, right? Click a video, watch, learn about it, and then implement it. You have to take action. You can't just watch it, say, oh man, you know what, this is pretty cool, and then that's it, right? And if you don't want to use Streak, you can use Excel. You can use good old-fashioned pen and paper. It really doesn't matter how you keep track of your list and how you follow up, but it is important that you actually do it. You have to keep a list and you have to follow up. Whichever way you work best is totally up to you, as long as you understand your system and it's easy for you to work with and that you actually do it. So that is what I have for you guys. Let's see if I can unshare this screen. And, oh man, we got 10 minutes. Cool. I'm back. Can you guys see me? Thumbs up. I see Daisy. I see Stanislaw. You guys good? Yeah. All right. So let's see how much we got. We got 5 minutes, it says. So if you guys have any questions, please unmute yourself. Let me see if I can stop this thing. How do I? I don't see an option. I mean, you can still see me. Let me see. New share. That's not it.
I have a question.
Yes.
So Streak, here's my question. Streak is a strictly email-based follow-up system, correct?
Yeah, it's used with Google, with Gmail.
Okay. All right. That was my question.
That was it? Okay. Yeah, so there's a lot of other services that do this, that do something similar. But you can get most of what you need done with Streak for free. They have a paid plan that allows you to do a lot of other stuff. I haven't found the use for the paid plan yet, but everything I need so far is, so here, I'll see if I can show you real quick. I don't know if you guys were able to see when Dalisa did it or not. Let me just share my thing here. Hold on a second. Find my thing here. Okay, that way I can show you how I kind of do. We only have a few minutes left here, but okay. You guys see my screen again? Yeah? Okay. So this is my Gmail. So when I go over to my streak, so I have this power hour streak here, right? And by the way, guys, tomorrow, Monday, for our Leeward Legacy team call, we're gonna have a power hour. So this might be on there, but so here's how I use it, right? So I have 93 people who I reached out to, right? And I have a script that I sent to them. So let's say I want to compose a script and I'll send it to myself, right? Oh, that's somebody else. I can't say that. All right, let's say I send it to me and I'll say, hey, whatever. And so using the snippets in this box down here, I can send a series, I can send any one of these scripts that I want. So if they reached out to me and say, hey, I saw your post on that, challenge group you have, I can put this in there and boom, it just clicks it and it has the entire thing already sent, done. And I just gotta click send. So I sent it, and then what happens is that, for example, this person here, I can move them from one stage to the next. It looks foreign to you right now because you don't know what I'm doing, but once you start using it, you get familiar with it, you'll understand it. So what this is here is just me moving them from one stage to the next, right? So these are the stages. So I'll send the script, say, hey, I hope you don't mind me reaching out to you about this, but I'm starting a group. Would you be interested? If they don't respond to me, I'll send them a message saying, hey, I don't know if you saw my last message, but I'm starting a group. Let me know if you want me to tell you about it. And then when they do say, yeah, tell me about it, I'll send them all the information about the group, right? And then 24 hours after that, I will send them a follow-up message. Hey, does everything make sense? Do you have any questions? So basically what I'm doing is, this is that pipeline I told you guys about. So I move people from one spot in the pipeline to the next. And then it either ends in they're thinking about it, I have to follow up with them next month, or they signed up, right? So that's basically how this goes. And once you start to, we have 2 minutes. So once you start to kind of get familiar with it, it really just makes that follow-up a lot easier. Because I used to use pen and paper. I have a notebook, and then I kept an Excel file. And it's just so many different ways of doing it, and it has so many different lists. It was hard to keep track of everybody at the same time. So I had 2 people here I never reached out, I never followed up on because they were on a separate list. And it's never all in the same place at the same time. It says here we have less than a minute, but follow the streak training that Dalisa put up if you guys have any more questions. I highly recommend it. It just made everything so much simpler for me. But I see Daisy and Stanislav talking a lot. I don't know if you guys have questions or anything. No? Okay.
There you go.
I have no question.
No.
Okay.
He's like clarifying.
Okay, yeah. So we're going to get cut off soon. But if you do have questions, type them in our chat or on our page. And I'll be more than happy to answer them. And then tomorrow night, don't forget, guys, Leeward Legacy, 9 p.m. is going to be Power Hour. So if you've ever wondered what the heck to do when you reach out to people, how do you do it? What do you say? This is tomorrow night. That's when you find out exactly what to say it, how to follow up, and what to do during your Power Hour so that you can be successful for that day. Cool?
Yes, sir.
Melissa, what's up?
Hola.
Anything else? No? So I'll be posting the video for you guys shortly after I get the email. And if not, if anything else, have a great night, guys. Thank you for tuning in. Love you all. Have a wonderful night. And peace.
Night.
Good night.
Good night.